What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to be talking about the 4-step process that we use to help maintain an 80% plus show-up rate for all of our sales appointments in a given month, allowing us to maximize and continue to scale our revenue. Before we get into it, if you don't know me, my name is Isaac Wood. I'm the founder of LeverGrowth.io. We're a B2B lead generation agency. We're working with B2B agencies, internet service businesses, and software businesses, helping them book between 5 and 15 client meetings each month with their ideal client on autopilot. Now, when you have more meetings, you have the opportunity to make more offers. Now, in order to increase that revenue, you got to increase your show up rate. So let's talk about how to do that. All right, so what are we going to cover today? First, we're going to talk about the problem of no-show leads. Second, we're going to talk about why those leads aren't showing up in the first place. Then third, we're going to talk about the 4-step process that we use to make sure that 80% of our leads actually show up to the meeting. And then fourth, we're going to talk about the exact pre-call sequence and protocol that we use to actually book these meetings in. So I'm really excited about this one. Let's talk about problem, right? No-show leads. So you booked a meeting with a prospect, but you're not done yet. What you need to do is you need to ensure that they actually are going to show up, right? So when your lead doesn't actually show up to the meeting, it's going to be negative for everyone involved, right? Waste your resources, your time, your energy, and your money, and you ultimately just don't have time for that. So all the work that you've done to actually get these leads into your pipeline and onto your calendar. So it's a real absolute necessity to just make sure that you focus on this in your process. So this is a little picture right here of what you look like before you have a dialed in process, alone, ghosted, and afraid. And then afterwards, you're sitting here with your counterpart, making deals, cutting checks. So let's keep going. So why don't leads actually show up? First, low perceived value on the prospect's side, right? So when a prospect's not showing up, it means that they don't think that this is actually worth their time. So this means that you've not established enough value in your pre-selling sequence. So how do you actually solve this? Pretty simple. So what we need to do here is we'll make sure that your lead knows exactly the value that they can expect in working with you prior to the call. So you do this with sales letters or video sales letters. VSLs is what we like to call them, case studies, and long-form sales assets. This is ultimately what you do in the pre-selling process. So another big problem here is your leads have high attention competition. So what does that exactly mean? It means that everyone's vying for a limited pool of prospects, right? So decision makers have a wave of people in their inbox, right? Team members, vendors of all different types, everyone's really competing for the attention and for that full calendar. And so ultimately, it's really easy to not be front of mind if you're not going to stand out. So the way that you solve this is you use a 5-step pre-call flow following a via email. So what we're doing here is also maximizing our availability window at 5 days. So you don't want to have a meeting booked more than 5 days out, because anything further than that, people are going to forget. They're not going to want to hop on a call because it's not going to be relevant to them. So the way that you do this is the 5-step pre-call flow, which again, you're going to include your meeting link. Obviously, you want to show them where the meeting actually is going to be taking place. You want to include your VSL to warm them into your sales process, into your process, what they can expect to achieve, the ROI, give them some pricing information as well. But ultimately, right, you want to be also sharing case studies. So what that means is building trust. Anything related to sales is all building trust in you, that you are somebody who can actually solve their problem, and you can do it better, faster, quicker than they can themselves or the rest of your competitive set. So that needs to be really clear before you hop on the call. If that's not clear, you're not going to have a good show up rate. And then the last one here is mismatched expectations, right? So if your lead thinks that your meeting is going to be a pitch fest, or they're unsure of what exactly to expect, then they're not going to show. So the way that you do this is in these pre-call flows, you want to make sure that you're outlining exactly what they should expect. So giving them some resources beforehand, provide a meeting agenda, make sure just set alignment expectations there. And what I mean by alignment expectations, they need to know before they hop on the call exactly what it is that you're going to be talking about, what sort of questions you might have, what you're ultimately looking to achieve, and having them invest their time. And so you want to make it worth that. So you got to be really, really clear in this whole process. So now let's talk about the actual 4 steps that we use to get these 80% show up rates. So the first thing that you want to do, this is a complete no-brainer, just use some kind of a scheduling booking software. I specifically use Calendly for myself and my 15 clients today in early October 2023. And we do this because traditional scheduling methods are super inefficient. They reduce bookings overall because you have to go do the back and forth. I'm available at this time. Are you available at this time? And then they say they aren't. And it just goes into this kind of cycle that doesn't need to happen and can be simplified with just sending a link or providing some times that you're available from that link. So we'll actually utilize Calendly for seamless lead booking. So it's dead simple to use. It prevents scheduling conflicts and the need to go back and forth, like I just mentioned. Strike while you're top of mind. The second step here is going to be shorten your booking window to less than 5 days. I mentioned it earlier, but really what you need to do is just make sure that you're front of mind and you're relevant. So we're only allowing that 5-day threshold. Anything booked more than 1 week out is going to absolutely increase your no-show rate. And ultimately that's because people get busy, they forget about you, and they often even forget about why they responded in the first place. So the key here is stay relevant with your time frame. The third step is going to be dial in your pre-call flow. So we're going to talk some action items here. First thing you want to do is prep the lead. So you have a 5-step pre-call sequence. This includes 4 automated touches, and 1 manual touch. And this is a minimum. You can go up from here. First, you want to have an immediate confirmation email right after booking. Then you want to send another manual follow-up the day of that booking. It's personalized and it adds like a nice touch. And then you want to do 3 reminders. You have a 24-hour, a 3-hour, and a 15-minute reminder, just making sure that you're nudging them and reminding them in due time, making sure that they know that they have the meeting with you. And so the last step here, we want to talk about the manual meeting confirmation template. So this is going to be a framework that we use, and you can implement it in your own systems as well. Sending a personalized message will improve the lead's trust and will cause them to be more likely to keep that commitment to your meeting and show up. So really the solution here is send out a manual confirmation saying, hey, name, I noticed you've scheduled some time with me at confirm the time and day to maximize the value of our session, just so you actually are getting value out of this. First, give them actionable steps and things to do. This is kind of indoctrinating them into your process as well, but review our client case study video and VSL. So share a bunch of case study videos and your video sales letter in that follow-up, and make sure you're relating the benefits to some kind of outcome that they can expect in working with you. Like for us, review our client case study video and VSL to show you how our other clients have generated 5 to 15 meetings in a given month. Direct them to be punctual. So like be ready a few minutes before your scheduled time to hop on the call. Be in a quiet room as well. Ensure that your call is going to be productive, free of distraction. And by just priming them with this, it shows the lead that you are serious and you're ready, but you're also providing them with some value and some context into why they should be meeting. And again, it's all about building trust. And so you just could be setting expectations and hitting those expectations consistently. And that's really the trust building process over time. Rapport is a quick thing, but over time you invest in the relationship. And so what you're doing is you're proving over that period of time that you are a trustworthy individual and you do what you say you're going to do. So by implementing these strategies, we're ensuring that our leads are not only scheduled in efficiently and with minimal back and forth, but we're also making sure that they're well prepared and they know both your intention on the call and setting up the stage for them and their next step before you actually hop on the call and have the conversation. So that's really the 4 steps there. I'm going to talk through our actual protocol here really briefly. So this is the sequence that we use that I described above, and this is going to be in the document that I can share below. But right, first thing, the lead books in that meeting, then they get that immediate automation email. The same day you get the manual booking confirmation, then the 3 follow-ups here, and then Once the lead shows up, you follow up afterwards with action items. If they don't show up, unlikely. But if they do, then you're going to want to put them into a nurture flow. And I can do a video about that in the future. This is the process. If you're a B2B agency, a software business, an internet service business, a consulting program that is looking for 5 to 15 more meetings in a given month with their ideal dream client on autopilot, then hit the link in the description below. Book a meeting with us at levergrowth.io. We'd love to chat, see if it's a good fit. Anyway, talk to you in the next video. Bye now.